I'm just grabbing all the monster information for. I mean, monsters in it.
Ugh.
Oh wow. So they are different. All right. Here I thought they were the same thing.
What are you trying to do?
I'm grabbing all the monsters that are appearing in your area, and I'm opening
Yeah.
them up, just putting them in a little stack so that I can grab them, so that it's not like, hold on, let me look up this info. Hold on. It's a named monster. He even has his own backstory. God damn it.
More work for you?
I just have to read it, and if you guys decide to go through there, I mean, yeah. These goblins got kids.
I'm trying to remember why we didn't go through this door. Oh, it was because this is locked. We couldn't open it.
Which door? The
Yeah, it was
this gen,
sealed
yeah.
on the other end.
That door is barred, or you tried pushing it, but it was barred. You could have made actions to slam it, but so far you've only like tried to just kind of push it open. You didn't make a whole lot of noise, but yeah, you haven't forcefully tried to enter, because any door in Dungeons and Dragons can be forcefully opened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see a reason to. We had many other places to go.
Do I get to roll a strength check for that too, or?
Yeah, you usually would have to do a strength check, or you can just do damaging moves. Usually, the things that would damage a door would be blunt.
Yeah, mace.
Usually swords wouldn't work as well. Worst case scenario, you would just make holes, and whoever's on the other side might see you if there's anyone over there.
Yeah. Swords are a little bit better for wood than stone.
Okay, so I looked up the rule for resting, and I just need to let you guys know. So for every time you rest, you have this pool of dice that you can grab from. So let's say that you're level 5. Your hit dice, let's say for Rogue, specifically Methman, he has a hit die of 8. So every time he levels up, he rolls a d8 and he sees how much HP he gets. When he rests, depending on how many levels you have, that's how many hit die you have to recuperate. And you can recuperate that many hit die within a day until you do a long rest. So since we're in this dungeon, I have 5 total points, or 5 total times that I can roll that hit dice to regain throughout the day before I do a long rest. So I'm not going to charge you guys this time because I don't know how long you guys will be in the dungeon, but just know that if you decide to keep going, I'm going to start asking you guys to keep notice or keep count of how many rest die you take. So that it's not just like, oh, we're just going to do a short rest, because like I do have to roll for encounters during those times. And you guys do get that hit points back, but like again, I don't want to make it so like dumbed down that you guys have no consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You actually explained that last time as well, but it's fine. The refresher.
So right now, you guys are over there next to the water. The rogue has stolen several rings, and Gundren has talked to you a little bit about the layout of the dungeon. He says he shows you various parts of the map, which are a bit difficult to read for a person who's not familiar with mine maps. However, he shows you that the map has a few different areas, and one of them he has a specific mark there that you're not able to understand really what it is, but he explains that in this area of the map, which it shows you, it has a it looks like a very large room. He says that beforehand there was also, in this mine, there used to be a temple where they used to pray towards certain gods, and they were gods affiliated with the dwarves. Now he doesn't know if those are still kept as is, but he's assuming since it's infested like this, it's probably been changed to worship some other gods, maybe like that goblin god that was in that one godforsaken castle that he was trapped in, which he saw. And also he marked a part on here that says this is where there is treasure, and he tells you this excitedly, saying that this should be he's looked at it over through different parts of books. Apparently there's different accounts, and he says that all of them point to these 2 rooms that supposedly have treasures that were important. Now he doesn't know if they're still there, but if you're interested in them, then we could probably head there. And he shows you this area where he says that he could easily lead you. But at the same time, it's up to you guys whether or not you want to go through here, because he's not sure what you guys are doing here other than looking for his cousin. He's not sure if you guys have your own like plans.
We're here because you hired us to come here, basically.
It's like, yeah, he wants it cleared out. He wants everything dead so he can start mining in peace so that things won't kill him.
Well, I get paid to defeat all the monsters, so.
Yeah, we're basically mercenaries.
So he tells you that he's worried about the temple, but at the same time he says that that was made in a way so that it was made in a way so that it was like sort of like a very large area for upper class individuals, and he says that might be where whoever's leading all these people is probably there. But at the same time, he's very interested in the treasure.
Well, we can go to the treasure first, and then deal with everything else.
Alright. Gundren, he tells you, like, he's like a bit excited, but at the same time he holds himself back a little bit, and he shows you, and he points to you in a direction. And you somewhat understand the bit of the maze that the map shows, and he kind of like shows you about where you need to go. And he does tell you that the entrance to the large room that's probably the temple is in this area right here. Can you see it?
I don't know what you're pointing at.
A little bit north.
Is it the thing I'm pinging right here? I don't see your
you
pings.
don't see the ring?
You do not.
No,
I do not see your rings.
No.
What about now?
Yeah, now it's showing up.
Yeah, so he says that's the entrance to the temple. That's there.
All right. Well, let's go. Unless you want to go somewhere else.
Oh, Gundren also is like, he's talking about the treasure. But he's also the cousin. Yeah, the cousin who might be dead. or might be alive. You've already found one brother that's dead, so he's kind of saddened by that. So he'll leave it up to you, as he is not like he's mostly just like the person who's trying to help you guys out throughout, but he's not gonna tell you how to do your business. It's eventually.
Where do you think your brother would be?
His bet is that his brother would be in the temple, because that has some rooms that are more tight knit and it'd be a good holding area.
We should. You think that it's your call, Kefra?
Temple seems like a good idea to go to.
Can you ping the temple, Del, again?
It's up here.
Oh, it is up here with the treasure too.
Nope, that's not where the treasure. The treasure is more around this area. It's not there where I'm clicking.
Okay, so we
that
gotta
area.
go through the temple to get to the treasure, unless we want to like do some sidewinding stuff.
Who knows? Let's go to the temple.
Okay.
I'm more interested in finding the cousin more than anything else.
Yep. Roll a perception just because we're leaving. Looking
We've
around.
already been
So
down
I do
all
have
night.
a board that's solely dedicated for a full party, that if you're here longer than a certain number of turns, I have to roll an encounter. However, there's plenty of monsters in here, and there's only 3 of you. And this campaign was made for 5 people. So I'm not going to throw monsters at you unless you do something outrageously stupid.
Well, we're supposed to clear the whole cave too. We want to, right? Like, can you clear it, or is it impossible because of encounters keep popping up?
If I don't pull any encounters, it's possible.
Okay. No, I'm just curious, like, because it was a question. Okay.
Yeah. Like, there are just some monsters that are just strong. That's just how they are.
Yeah.
And the encounters that are already scripted on here they're just fucking strong, dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
Imagine if we almost didn't die to the intro goblins. Only 2 of us.
I'm almost positive one of you did die. I just rolled against it.
Maddie probably.
Yeah, it's probably me.
I don't know. One of you guys went to the negatives, like -5. Like, he critted you. I was like, what the fuck? You rolled a nat 20.
Yeah.
You kind of fudged that number, huh? Well, let's keep on heading this way.
That is the problem sometimes, is the GM, you gotta make adjustments based on players. Or just say, fucking get good.
Well, I mean, there's 3 of you.
Yeah.
Well, originally there was 2 of you.
Yeah. Made it really
that was
hard
all
if you miss it all, because then they just quadruple attack you.
Alright, so the rogue decides to go up against the door slowly. And he decides to listen. Gundren is hanging back.
I go over here and prep the crossbow at the door.
Okay.
I'm re-equipping my shield while I'm thinking of it.
And roll perception to see if I hear anything from this distance.
You look around, you notice that there is a cave-in on... Whoops. There's a cave-in on the western area of the cave. It looks like it's a path that probably led somewhere. But other than that, you hear a bit of noise on the other side of the door. However, the rogue, as he's putting his ear against the door, has heard a little more.
Oh, did my Discord die?
No, I'm just reading a description.
Oh, fair enough. It just got really quiet.
So,
It got really
off
quiet.
mid-sentence.
Yeah, I was worried for a second, Selena.
Oh, that's interesting. That would have been a really cool how it played out if that had happened.
Remember that. What ended up happening?
I'm
just
just reading up on a
talk
character
about
real quick, because there's a specific way that he acts and he asks certain things. Yeah, so the rogue puts Sears against the wall, and he doesn't hear much. He hears wait, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. What the fuck is this thing talking about? Alright, whatever, fuck it. Let me just continue on.
Bullshit that just
Reading.
gets confusing.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, this, it says that, in the book it says, hey, you're supposed to have these things there. And, like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, because they're not there. There's supposed to be these, like, specific monsters there. I'm just like, they're not there. Like, this, I could change it, but it'll change the difficulty rating.
Yeah. And whatever you got to do, right? If you kill us, you kill us.
Okay, so as the rogue approaches the door, he puts his ear against it, and he says that he hears a small murmuring. He doesn't exactly know what it is, and he also hears a bit of sound in there that he's not able to distinguish. But he says that he knows that there is at least a few individuals over there, that if we do go through there, he doesn't know if we'll have to go guns blazing or things like that, but he says to prepare. And he asks
Okay.
if you want him to open the door.
Well,
I'm gonna precast Blessed again, and then get ready for fighting. Don't know what's going
Alright.
on there.
I aim down my crossbow, and hopefully Maddie doesn't block me again.
Alright, so as the rogue opens the door, he opens it somewhat quickly. And man, this thing's bugging out. Hold on.
Definitely looks like a temple.
Being difficult.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, so it's kind of annoying when you're trying to reveal corners.
Yeah.
Because the reveal tool kind of like, if you go too far past the browser edges, it like stops revealing, and you have to do it over again.
No, understandable. Yeah, PC stuff is nice, but it's not perfect.
Ah, motherfucker! All right. Just keeps doing that. All right. As you open the door slowly, the rogue opens the door and looks around the area, and I need you guys all to roll perception. Okay, and oh, and that 20. So as you look around, Tater, you're able to notice a few beings, and Maddie, you're able to notice as well, but the rogue is able to like sense where everyone is. And as he looks through the table, he notices that, although currently unaware, because he opened the door quite slowly, and he has a good sight of them, he noticed that there are 4 beings that are currently hidden, and Neznar is seated in the center top part of the temple, and this is what you see. So let me.
Remind me who Neznar is?
Oh, my apologies. He hasn't introduced himself yet, but
Oh, okay.
hold on.
Got him.
I'm like, should I know that name?
So actually, your brother, but you just don't know.
Oh, I hate this.
For a brief moment, you and the rogue, like, they notice them, but however, the few seconds that you have, they have not noticed you. And as you look into the room, you notice some of the details around the area. It's 6 cracked marble pillars line the walls of this hall. At the north end, which stands a 9-foot tall statue of a dwarf seated on a throne, a mighty stone warhammer across his lap. Large emeralds gleam in the statue's eyes. The dust and debris covering the floor has been swept to one side, and a campsite of sorts now spreads in front of the statue. Half a dozen bedrolls and packs are neatly arranged around a rough-built fire pit. A wooden table stands on the west side of the room between the 2 pillars. Now, the description does read that there are bugbears, but as you see, these are giant spiders.
Oh, giant bug spiders.
As you look forward, you see a dark elf dressed in black leather armor and robes. He clutches a black staff with a carved spider on the top and frowns as he sees you. He looks at you and he says, it seems that we have. He looks at you and he's sort of surprised, and he tells you in a demanding voice. And currently, he only sees the rogue, which has stepped in slightly.
What does he say?
He tells you, like, who are you? Identify yourself. Do you not realize whose territory you're in? And he looks at specifically only the rogue. Now, the 2 doors are open, and he only notices the rogue. He doesn't notice Kathra. He doesn't notice Kosef. And the spiders are just kind of trying to hide behind the pillars. However, as he opened the door, the rogue had pointed towards those corners, helping you see specifically that they were there.
I don't think I can hit the spiders where I'm at. I could hit this one, but that's about it.
You said there's a fire pit in this room, so this room is lit up, right?
Yes, it is lit up, and you can see.
So I did prep my crossbow. I'm just kind of playing it by you guys communicating if you want me to fire.
So the rogue, he looks at this drow, then he's like, he goes like, hey, aren't you the guy who was at the Cragmaw Castle? The rogue doesn't know what to say. And the drow, I guess, he looks at him and he goes, he asks him, like, he asks him if he's a wanderer, just wandered into this area by mistake. If that's true, then perhaps you could just get rid of him and there wouldn't be much of an issue. Unless you prove yourself a bit useful. Who are you? He asks again. He says, I won't ask a third time. And the rogue looks back, kind of a little bit, with his eyes looking at Kathra, and then he turns back and he says, "Oh, I'm just a rogue for hire." Let's see if that works. It does work. Okay. He looks at him and he says, "I'm just a adventurer for hire. I go around offering my services for a bit of gold. I also partake in a bit of meth, if you would like." He shows him a small rock. Says, "This is an 8-ball. Charlie Sheens take one of these in a day." He starts looking back at you guys. He's like, eh?
I wouldn't know you can't see me.
So the drow that's there looking as a wizard's robes, he looks back at him and he says, "Adventurer for hire. Besides, yes, I've been needing a little bit of useful individuals." As he looks at him, he still does not notice the 2 of you and Gundren in the back. It's a dark hallway. Unless Catherine, you haven't said anything about lighting your torch, so I'm assuming it's dark. Because
Right.
like, so
I
the
never
rogue,
really cast anything.
I mean, he looks at him and he just says, "Yeah, like I'm just looking for a bit of work. If you have any gold, I'll be happy to work for you." As deception rolled an 18, that was pretty good. And the drow introduces himself. Excellent. Tell me, what is your name? I don't know. The rogue does introduce himself. He calls himself Meth Man, and he says he has an 8-ball. And the drow looks at him and he tells him that he is Nesnar the Black. Nesnar the Black Spider. He says that he's in charge of this area that he recently acquired, and he's been needing someone specifically to clear out the mines. You see that after I received this small little paradise, it's been nothing but a headache. It's been just so infested with monsters and ghouls and zombies that he's been here for weeks trying to get rid of all of these pests. He says he doesn't mind that he goes around and clears the area, and he'll pay him handsomely.
Can I just like
But-
slowly back up? on
You
Gordon?
can if you'd like. As he's telling him, the rogue hears him, and the rogue kind of like you can tell that the rogue is a bit uncomfortable. He tells Nesnar the Black. He tells the rogue, "You know what? I'll even pay you handsomely, and afterwards you can even have some of the magical items that are throughout this mine. There's even one room that I know has a few items, and we just can't get to it due to a small amount of trouble, but I'm sure that someone as smart as you would be able to do it." He picks up some gold coins that he has on the side of a table, and he puts it in this little leather bag, and he says, "Tell you what, if you're able to gain access to some of these areas that are around here, I'll give you a little bit of money every time you clear it." And he gives a little wry smile, and the rogue, from seeing him for so long and kind of like talking to him, you can tell that the rogue feels like he has a face on him that's quite queer. And you notice that it's the face that he makes when he just does not believe anything that the other person is saying. And he normally has this face, so it's not that strange that you would see him with it. But you can tell that the rogue is just not believing anything that this guy is saying. The rogue looks in, and he does like little small looks to the left and to the right of these spiders. And he goes, "Oh, that sounds great. But he says, how will I know if I'm enough? You know, it's quite a lot of monsters in here along the way. Wouldn't I need a bigger group? Perhaps I could get some of my other adventure buddies. They're about as strong as me. They should be in town somewhere. I'm sure I could get them back in a day or two." And Nesnar looks back at him and he snaps at him and he tells him, "No, that you are not to bring anyone else. Only you, after all, would be the point that money wouldn't change. It would just be the money split up. Why not just split it up only into one lump sum for yourself?" But he says that he won't allow anyone else to come into the cave. And the rogue, he looks at him and he goes, "Yeah, okay, no problem. It'll take a little longer." And he starts going, all right, I'll look through this cave. I'll work for you, and I'll clear this area. How does he keep rolling high? I don't understand. And Nesnar looks at him a bit like I don't know if I can trust this, but all right. Nesnar looks at him and he says, "All right, I'll allow you to go through this cave." And Every time you clear an area, you're to come back and report. And once you report, I'll give you payment, but only for every area that's cleared. I have my men check. He tosses him a small emblem, and he tells him, if you use this, my men probably won't kill you immediately. But if you do anything funny, they probably will anyways. So he gives a small chuckle, and you hear kind of this like little hissing sounds that are in the shadows on the corners. And I mean, the rogue knows that there are giant spiders in that area, so he goes, "Oh yes, thank you." And he goes a little forward, and he picks up the token, and then he says, "I'll see you soon." Then, as he walks back, and he closes the doors, and he goes up to the two of you, still a bit in darkness, and he says in a low whisper, in a very angry tone, "What the hell?"
Hey, you talked your way out just fine.
I was ready to shoot as soon as it went bad. You just went really well, like you convinced him.
Excellent. Perhaps I should convince myself not to allow the same fate to happen to any of you if that happens as well.
We were here to back you up if need be, but handled it fine. And look, we can use this to maybe get around a bit better for now. But just so you know, we're definitely coming to kill this guy at some point.
Gundren, he becomes very anxious, and he goes up to the rogue. He kind of grabs him by the collar, and he says, "Did you see him? Did you see him? Did you see my brother?" He says it quite anxiously. And the rogue just responds with, "I only saw 4 giant spiders and 1 drow that looked like the guy from the castle. I saw no one else." Gundren, kind of befallen, a little bit sad, he kind of like slumps his shoulders and he leans back against the wall, and he goes like, I fear that he's dead. And Gundren's like, like, I fear that my brother is dead. So he's saying that he's worried and he's not sure what to do.
Should we
Well, Gundren, we're gonna search this place till we find him one way or another.
How big were the
then,
giant spiders?
The rogue looks at you, and he just looks at you in a face of almost disbelief, and he says, "You know what? I'm not even gonna.
What, are
He
they
just
like
walks
really
away.
giant, or are they kind of giant?
He decides to walk away. He's like, "All right, Gundren. He gave me a coin. However, he only gave me 1. So I'm gonna see if we can use this a little bit to not get tacked immediately."
At the very least, you might be able to convince us that we're lackeys. I didn't see the coin on all the monsters and stuff, so I assume that they all don't have to wear it.
And then the rogue looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, but you're a human."
Yeah. And what about the red brands, who are all humans?
"Did you notice anything interesting about the red brands?"
They're all dead.
Yes, because we killed them.
He says, "Exactly, and you're alive, idiot."
So what do you think we should do? Should we take this guy out now while he doesn't know we're out here?
The
Wow.
rogue
Door's
looks
still
back
open?
and he says, "I really don't want someone that can send a giant spider after me. How about I get as close as possible, and I give it my all to try to kill him immediately. He's a wizard, so if I get close enough, I should be able to, kill him."
So we should clear a room and then come back.
He says, "No, I don't think we
Counterpoint.
should clear the room. We already have a treasure."
Counterpoint, if you attack him there, aren't you gonna get swarmed by giant spiders?
He looks at you and he goes, "Ha! I'm not a coward." And he looks at his 8-ball in his hand.
Oh, go ahead, let's try your plan.
But he says, "We do have 1 treasure already. It's not like we can't fake it a little bit." and he points down to your feet. Kethra.
Maybe
That is a good
gonna help.
point. He can use that treasure to give it to him and trick him. And say, look, what I found.
Oh, that's a good one.
Gundren looks at you upon hearing this, and
I don't like.
he tells you, Kethra, like, no, he refuses that the treasure is something that has been passed down by our family for generations. It's been with us since before Webeko Cave, and it's been with us for generations upon generations. And he refuses. He's saying, no, you're not allowed to. Those boots are only to be worn by our family. And if for some reason it falls into his hands, then there may be a chance that if something goes wrong, we'll never see that again. He says that will be a fate worse than death.
I look at Gundren and Kefra and say, are the boots worth more than your brother and cousin? Because he might be behind that temple area, and if he is, the longer we waste here, the more likely he isn't going to be alive.
Dwarvish tradition is very
this
strong.
This is already written in, so I'm going to tell you it is how he would say it. He looks at you in a very solemn face, bit sad, but he says the treasure that is part of his family's history is worth more than one life of a Gundren.
Okay, so I can't roll to convince him. Got it. Okay, I nod my head and say,
you can absolutely roll, but it'll just be very high. You have to roll like above what is necessary, and you also have to role play.
Well, to be fair, that's what I did. I tried to convince them. That was me just being like honest as like a villager. As a human, it doesn't have dwarf things like, look, family's family.
Dwarvish tradition is stronger than that.
Yeah, but I don't know that. In character, humans value that more.
Human.
Well, I roll persuasion.
The rogue looks at you, and he looks at you, Catherine. He just whispers ever so slightly so that only you could hear, and he says, I could just swap out the boots real quick. I have another pair.
I assume my persuasion just got completely blown out.
No, he looks at you and he responds honestly. In order for you, because you cannot convince someone of something that they will absolutely not do. The same way that you can't seduce someone. Like, let's say you go to a bar and you can't seduce a barmaid if she's married and her character is not interested in cheating.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fair. Okay.
Like in 3.5 and beforehand,
you could do
work.
bullshit.
That's fine. 5th edition specifically tells you, unless it's a nat 20, if a character is inclined to never do something, they won't. Like, what happens if you roll a 19 or a nat 20 for a character to kill all his children? Like, is that fair?
Yeah, to be fair, no.
Is grounded in real world, so even if the character's like, I fucking hate these goddamn kids, they're always loud, but I'm not gonna kill them. I just, want to see them suffer. Like, it's like that. It's like, yeah, sure, the characters might hurt them, but like not really, because
at this point, I kind of I raise my hand and say, "You hired me. It's whatever you guys want to do."
It's whatever. It's not like it matters. Cause I only play with you guys, but I love that 5th Ed does that more with skill checks. I hate that, like in the old editions, it's like you could be a scrawny mage, and it's like, oh, you rolled a nat 20 on lifting something. Well, you lift it with the power of Hercules.
Nat 20, bro. I stand by that argument I made was valid for my character.
I mean, that's fine. Doesn't mean you have to work.
Just so
no, he said like RP, so I said I was RPing. I was trying to be in character.
If you had rolled a nat 20, I would have said he does it so begrudgingly and like that. But you rolled an 18.
No. I get that. I just said I was trying to RP. I wasn't trying to like logic it. I was trying to be in character.
The rogue, again, he sneakily points, and he has these boots behind his back as he tries to pass them to you, Kathra.
I fly out and say no to the rogue.
Oh, so sad. As he looks as he shows you what's inside the boots, you see a small 8-ball, and he grabs the 8-ball and he takes the boots and he puts them back in his sack.
I look at Gundren
how will we approach this old heavy metal slab? As he looks at you, Kethra.
Do you think you can sneak up behind him or no?
He says that he saw an entrance as he entered, and he describes the entrance as being a stairwell. And he says that if I can get through the side of that entrance, I may be able to sneak close enough to him to kill him. But the rogue says, I need a distraction to make it possible.
The question is if we get him over there, we could maybe come from this door, Kefra, and you can open and make a loud noise, and it might distract him enough. But the problem is I don't know how far away that other side entrance is.
Well, we can look for it for now. We're not under a super time pressure. We are, but this is not an immediate threat. We could look around some more.
Okay.
The rogue says that those spiders don't look like they're moving anywhere. But he says that again, if you want to wait for this later, you don't know whether or not there will be more spiders. Like, we don't know how many he has. Right now, we know how many he has.
Okay, let's do this. I'll open the door, and I will try to lock down the mage, while Kosef shoots him from the darkness, hopefully with advantage. And you can try to sneak up and get him.
He says, okay. He says that
I want to try hold person on him. If he can't talk, then he can't order the spiders. Of course, he could fail.
Okay, the rogue doesn't know how he'll do that, but he'll definitely try to kill him. But he says this, I need you to count a few seconds, and I'll be able to run towards that area. He thinks it's a hallway that's a little bit more north. And he'll go there, but he says that, remember, and he looks at you very seriously, as he's never looked at you seriously before. He says, the word for the launch of the attack will be bonanza, as he sneakily walks away.
I prep my crossbow and say, okay, when you call bonanza, Kefra, I'm shooting at him.
So he tells you to wait for 1 minute exactly. And he starts counting down with you, like I guess 60, 59, 58. And during the time that he's doing that, he's sneaking past. Wow, that's really fucking good, but at the same time it's like, okay. So he sneaks and he runs, and as he goes up, he reveals this area.
I was gonna say, you could hide it from us because we don't technically see it if you want to do that.
No, that's okay. He would have told you anyways.
Okay.
As he runs up to the north, he finally sees the passage which he was able to see. He says, yes, this makes sense. And the rogue slowly moves up. Okay, good. The spider doesn't see him. And as the rogue moves up, he crosses a door. And during this countdown, you're at about 21, 20. And he just kind of sees a door and he can't help himself, and he opens it up just a little bit to see. He's like... And he sees something interesting. He sees an individual there, and he makes a realization. And upon seeing the individual, he just says, ah, and he moves forward because there's not enough time. And he
Walking up.
sneaks again. I rolled exactly the amount in order to not get seen by the fucking spider. That's really funny. Oh, okay, that one works more for the attack, since it's at the pillar. So right now you're at about 10 seconds, and the rogue is a little bit out of breath, however. 2, 3, 4, he is exactly the distance that he needs to be in order to attack for a 1-for-all attack.
Well, 2 for all. I'm attacking 2.
It's an actual type of attack.
He's got a 1 chance in order to attack.
Actually, I'm gonna, instead of crossbow, I'm running magic missile. I'm gonna shoot 6 to the 7 at him.
You can. Do you know how much damage magic missile does?
I had to look it up. Give me 1 second. Well, you guys keep talking. It won't take me long.
So the rogue, he then prepares, and currently he's at the countdown. You're at the door, and he's hiding, and he's able to hide from the spider that's there, as the spider's focus is at the door, since that's where he had come from some time ago. Because the amount of time that it took you guys to come up with this plan was actually close to maybe 20 minutes. And
Yeah.
during that time, Nesnar had been kind of looking very thoughtfully at some notes on a table. And this is what he was looking at beforehand when you had come in. He was surprised, but he wasn't worried since, there's giant spiders everywhere.
Dumb question, Del. Magic missile seems to shoot 3 darts with 1 magic missile. Is it just each dart is a magic missile, or is it 3 times 6?
3 times.
Look for the level of magic missile.
It's the one in Roll20. It's saying.
Yeah, look up a level.
Oh, I see. It's level 1 dart magic missile, right?
So yeah, so you have magic missile, and the way that the wand works is, let me look it up.
If it's level 1 magic missile, it's 3 magic missiles.
So it says here that this one has 7 charges.
Yeah.
And
One
you
extra
want to
card per level.
do
6.
expend for each blah, blah, blah. So for each charge you expend beyond 1, the level increases by 1. So that means that since you want to do 6 charges, you're doing
So it's 3
charges,
darts
you
at
want to do
level
6.
1. So.
Bolts.
You have 7 charges.
Yeah, no, but
So
I'm
you
saying
have
like the
how
first
many
charge
bolts?
is always 3 darts. You create 3 glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits a creature of your choice. You can
Yeah,
see
so
within
look
range.
up what it is for level.
Yeah. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using the spell slot at 2nd level or higher, the spell creates 1 more dart for each slot above first. So that'd be 3
Yeah,
plus
look
5,
at-
so 8.
Yeah, so that would be 8. So that means that you expended 6 charges. So you
Yeah.
had a level 6 magic missile. You just have to look how much that is.
So it's 8. It's 8 darts because. So 1d4 plus 1
That's
times
8.
8. So 8d4.
Now, just remember, you're doing it at the darkness. I'm playing now.
Well, isn't it light out? Like I can shoot it at the.
I'm playing.
I was gonna say that's a bit.
It's an ancient meme.
Oh, fair enough.
Alright, so the rogue is there and he's counting down, and as he is, he's waiting, and it goes from 10, 9, 8, and finally 4, 3, 2, and he's just mouthing it off in his head as consistently as he
just
can, and he's just
scream out
waiting.
Bonanza as I open the door, and
As you open the door, you open it, and the all 4 spiders and Nesnar turn back, and he looks at the 2 doors that are opened, and he sees a dwarf coming in from a dark corridor. And as he sees this, also, Joseph, are you making sure that you're the right distance away, or does it not have a limitation on distance?
It's 120 feet. So,
Technology.
yeah, the magic missile will hit in that room.
So the rogue, he hears the word Bonanza, and as he opens the door, Nesnar, the spiders, all look towards Kethra, and they're all hidden. And the rogue then quickly, as he can only go this distance, immediately passes the spider, goes in front of Nesnar, and while momentarily he's not paying attention, the rogue then sneaks up with advantage. And oh shit, I completely forgot to grab his. Hold on. Where are you? I know I have. There we go. Finally. God damn, why couldn't I find you beforehand? You are Nesnar!
Care for Skewn's Bonanza. Mesnar is shocked. It is super effective.
Oh, that's interesting. Hold on, there's like a lot of stuff he can do.
Will he live to do it?
If I don't kill him in one hit, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna move the magic missile times 6. So honestly, the most valuable way to use a magic missile wand is just shoot one charge at a time for maximum potential damage, but you can do it all at once. So that's kind of beneficial.
This is such like a like it's apparently it's like talking about how drow society is matriarchal.
Yeah.
And like male drows are relegated to servitor roles, and while most train as warriors, a few such as Nesnar become skilled wizards. I'm just like, yeah, all right. Poor Nesnar. He's just like that one guy from Star Wars. What's his name? Darth Maul. Yeah. So the rogue goes up to the wizard, who is confused at the wordage used, and he attacks. And as he attacks, it was from a blind side. The spiders only take notice after the rogue had appeared in front of him, and he attacks. However, as he hits, he does the sneak attack, which is 1d6, and also he hits with the sword, which is also 1d6 plus 4, so it's 4d6 plus 4. Oh no, it's not that good.
Fortunate.
As he goes up to Nesnar, he then slashes at him, and he does a sort of like a grunt as he got hit, as he barely was able to move from any extremely vital areas where he slashed. And the rogue has like done his action, and I think Kosef, you said you were preparing magic missile.
I'm not gonna dump all 6 just in case. I'm gonna dump also because it becomes a pain in the ass for rolling. So D5. So what's that? That's using 3 charges. So I'll roll D4, D5, D4s plus 1.
So 5d4
for each dart. So
okay, and this
that's another 5. So 20 damage. Always hits, unless I believe yes. I think it always hits. So 20 damage.
For Nesnar, you know, it's written in his character sheet that he's very inquisitive, and if he's very overconfident, and if he would have come in and been a bit aggressive, he would have immediately casted a bunch of spells.
But yeah, I don't think
I'm helping you out with this little encounter. And as Nesnar gets slashed, he takes out his wand as if to cast a spell. And he has an ability called innate spellcasting, where he is able to naturally do certain spells. And as magic starts manifesting across his body, he then gets penetrated by these wisps of magic.
By spikes.
Magic spikes that go at him. And they rip through him, causing holes to rip through his arms and his chest. As he looks to where it came from the darkness! Ah! And he realized that he should have casted Magic Missile at that damn darkness much earlier before. And as he falls to the ground unconscious. The rogue then looks around the spiders that suddenly tried to swarm him, and you hear an audible curse word from the rogue. He says, "Fuck!" Now roll initiative. Wait, hold on. There we go. Now I got the turn order up.
Oh wow, not 20.
That doesn't count. No, I'm playing now.
It was a nat 20. What do you mean?
Let's see if I can find. Oh, that's the one monster. Fuck. I didn't expect you guys to actually go with the spider plant, so I never took out the spider thing.
To be fair, I let the dwarves decide this, and the dwarves made this decision, and so did you, actually. So you pushed this too, Tell.
Well, yeah, but the rogue always wants to fight now and get money immediately.
Yeah, and like I'm only caring about Thunder Tree and just helping you guys out. So it's like whatever you guys want to do.
You know what the worst part where decisions always fall to be? It's like exact opposite one of my personality traits.
Maybe you're just murderous, Maddie. You just really want death.
No, it's like my trait is I don't trust gut feelings and I tend to wait for others to act. Because it's always like, hey, yeah, what do you want to do?
Man, I don't think you realize how much you murdered in this campaign.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see.
I would have murdered a lich if someone didn't convince me otherwise.
To be fair, like I'm of the people, but like I'm still like as just a regular person, so I'm not like leadership material.
Evil lich.
I'm a hero, but I'm not like a.
It was evil.
I think
thinking from a child's skull.
I assume that the noble hero, the noble fighter noble, is the leader, and the wizard maybe.
So let's see.
Actually, who was supposed to be the leader in the group?
The leader in the group is whoever took the reins.
Yeah. No, I meant like personality-wise.
Some days it was. Are you talking about like if you look at the story-wise, lore-wise?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be this character that you didn't choose, the melee guy.
Yeah, the fighter noble. I figured.
The fighter noble, and you were supposed to be like the side leader or the co-leader.
Yeah.
Because humans are always the leaders.
And to be
Yay!
fair, like the main story is Kefra's family, so it feels weird to like not let Kefra decide plans. It feels disrespectful. That makes sense. In character-wise, like it does feel disrespectful to do that to someone.
Well, Minds of Foundover involves each of the characters.
No, I mean specifically this plot point. Like my plot point is irrelevant to what's going on right now. It's Thunder Tree.
Alright, so right now it's going to be Kosef, the fighter. Go.
Okay. I can see this gentleman right here, so I'm going to shoot my crossbow at him. And because I had my magic missile out, I can only attack once because I need to switch to my crossbow. So I fire. Was that a 19?
There was an entirely round. There was an entire.
I get to attack twice then, or no?
Yeah, that was an entire like before round, and you use magic missile, which is literally as if you had attacked. So
no, but I had to take the wand out, so I'm pretty sure I need to switch weapons, right?
Oh, that's right. You did take the wand out.
I had to take the wand out to cast Master Missile, so.
Yeah, so you would only attack once. You would have to.
Yeah, I'd reload and then next try I can attack twice.
And then reload.
Yeah. So I actually crit because that's 19.
Nah. I'm just gonna hold on. Let's see. Yeah,
I actually hit a 19, and that's a crit.
That's nice. Finally, that's like the first time this campaign.
What is it? Yeah, it is.
Except
What
the
is?
one time that you actually rolled a d20.
So what is what's the rule for crit again?
The rule for crit is that you add one extra damage dice to the damage modifier that you have.
Is it the same damage dice you use? Basically,
use a D8 for damage.
I use a D10 for crossbow.
Then you roll one more D10.
Okay.
Oh god! Shit. What the hell is up with that?
Wow.
I did 8. I did 8 damage.
You would have rolled the same if you just would have rolled 1. Jesus,
I know. I did 8 damage.
Hey, next time tell me if you're gonna waste a crit. Anyway, what was the total?
It's 8 because that's +4.
Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, I use
You launch the bolt onto the black spider, and I'm assuming for your bonus for your multi attack, you decide to grab another bolt and launch.
Yes, I slot it back in.
Slot it back in. Okay.
What
else will you do?
I end my turn, and I also I was gonna do some RP for how that shot was so accurate, but it just completely accurately hit like the worst part of him.
Yeah, like you shot it, and like
Yeah.
you shot one of its legs, and the spider's like, "Fool, I have 7
It,
more."
it was a clean shot. It was perfectly aimed at the leg. Unfortunately, it goes flying and
Several
strikes
more.
the
It was
leg and
wildly
strikes him
aimed at
in
the leg.
and strikes him in the foot, and it perfectly hits the foot, but it's just the foot. So the spider kind of looks at me funny,
Spider's like, you bastard. Ah.
and I'm kind of like
The
cussing,
spider-
going, "That was a clean shot." And I reload my crossbow.
So this one of the spiders that is close to the door immediately kind of like crawls along the wall. Hold on, let me see if I can, because the spider has its own little thing. Roll perception, Cathra. Okay. The spider nimbly tries to hide in the shadows, and he runs along the wall, and he just sort of waits along the wall to pounce.
Oh, we all have bless by the way
As soon
too
as,
for attacks. I
Oh,
think.
that
Right?
ran out.
Oh, it ran out. Okay, bless doesn't exist anymore now.
It only lasts 10 minutes, and he said we took like 20 minutes talking, so. It's
Oh, okay, fair enough.
so the spider goes along the wall. He tries to the spider's trying to sneak into the wall to make sure that anyone who comes through, he'll just pounce. And that spider moves there, and he just holds there for someone to pass. So he's waiting for you, Cathra, but you notice him immediately. So you notice that spider there. So I'm not going to turn that spider invisible. Next, this spider, he goes to one side of the rogue, and he looks at him, and he's like, "What are you doing here, huh, buddy?" And he looks at him, he's like, "You're in the wrong neighborhood." Huh? So he grabs. See what he does.
Wait, the spider grabs.
No, the spider doesn't grab. The spider decides to... What? What the fuck? Oh. Also, all these spiders are on the pillars, so they're not on the ground. Except for one. One of them is against the wall. And that's this one right here. This one is against the wall. But all these other ones are on pillars. And this one is sort of like at the base of the pillar, looking at the rogue. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. As he looks at the rogue, he then decides to... What? Okay, there we go. He decides to spit his web. However, the rogue is able to avoid the web that shoots at him. It splatters around the ground as the spider tried to tie him up, and the next spider that's on the top corner decides to go to the top area where the rogue is, and he tries to again attack him. And this time, instead of the web, he's going to bite him. He does so with advantage, meaning he hits. Oh, wait, there is a lot of text for this attack. The spider then bites the rogue, and as he bites the rogue, he takes 1d8 plus 3. And not only does the bite include the nasty mandibles of the spider, but it also includes poison, which the spider uses to basically immobilize its victims. It's 2d8. However, I could avoid this a bit of the damage by doing a saving throw, and the rogue decides to do a Constitution saving throw. One off. That's sad. And he's not able to. It seems that the fangs and the poison was able to hit the rogue. It affects him slightly. Really? What the fuck? So if the damage reduces the target to 0 HP points. So it only affects you negatively if you go unconscious? What? Then what's the point of poison?
I guess for the specific poison?
Well, the way that this is worded is all like, you do a con save if you get bitten, and you take poison damage, but if it only starts with paralyzing you if you go to 0 hit points and they stabilize you, but your character's going to be paralyzed. I'm just like, well, then what's the point of poison? But whatever. Anyways, the rogue takes 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
Oof.
From the spider bite, and the rogue goes yowza. Next is the rogue, and the rogue attempts to. Oh wow! Holy shit! Hey, Hang.
Sup?
So you know how I get the ability to disengage? Can I do multiple disengages, as in going away from 2?
What type of action is it?
It's literally main. So I have a bonus action which allows me to disengage, but I'm flanked by 2 people. And I'm trying to remember if I'm allowed to disengage.
I swear we've had an argument about this skill
We
before.
did. I had an argument with Kaz about it.
Wanted to infinitely disengage, and I don't think it's supposed to work that way.
I think you're only allowed to disengage once with an enemy, not multiple enemies.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it
per
be?
turn.
Couldn't you disengage if they're both like facing you, but you couldn't like disengage and then run into an enemy and then disengage again?
I'd look it up, but like, because Kaz was trying to do some shit where he was constantly disengaging, re-engaging for bonuses, and it was fucking crazy.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to. It's a bonus action, meaning if you disengage, you can only do it once as an action. But I don't know if you can do it multiple
Like, I don't think you could if you go here, you probably can't disengage again. You know what I mean?
Luck.
I don't know, like it's a generic assumption, but usually like when something takes a turn or an action, like a free action, bonus action, I consider it consumed unless it says otherwise.
Yeah. I think you could.
Action is done for that turn if you use it that turn.
I think you could disengage Del to here, like, and to try and hide behind the pillar, and you'd be fine. But I don't think you could disengage like to here.
The issue isn't that I can disengage. I know I can disengage. I'm talking about disengaging from 2 people that are currently flanking me.
It says your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks for the rest of the turn.
What's that?
It says you don't provoke opportunity attacks for the rest of the turn. So as long as it's the same turn. So this also says it's an action, not a bonus action.
What is it? Cunning action?
I don't know about cunning action. It says at an action. I can look in the player handbook too.
Yeah, it's called cunning action. It's specifically what a rogue has, and it says starting at 2nd level, your quick thinking and agility allow you to move and act quickly. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat. This action can be used only to take the dash, disengage, or hide action, meaning that I can only use this bonus action to disengage, hide, or dash. So it's one of the 3.
It just says it lasts until the end of the rest of the turn.
No, I'm looking at a different skill. That's not the skill that I have. I'm looking at. But you talking about disengage is you saying that disengage is to just remove? Yeah, but I have cunning action.
Yeah, but your cunning action lets you use disengage.
My cunning action lets me use disengage.
Yes.
Yeah, prevents opportunity for the rest of the turn.
So basically, cunning action lets you use it as a bonus action instead of a regular action. So you probably could double disengage. You could probably do disengage and then do cunning action disengage if you had to.
Yeah, but I can only
as a bonus move.
To disengage, so it's not damage.
Yeah.
Wait, what was Let me look it up.
So you can
look at the wording as
well. I'm looking at disengage as an ability itself that everyone can do. Basically means you can't attack at all. And it's your actual move. But then couldn't you also cunning action again to disengage for your bonus actions? You can double disengage. If you have to.
Disengage specifically lasts till the end of the turn, so you should be able to do it from both enemies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the way I interpret it.
Okay, so basically I could use that to disengage, but I'm not going to allow it to disengage multiple times. So if I'm disengaging, it's from one instance of being engaged on. So
yeah.
I'm not going to say that I can't go in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah, that makes sense, because it shouldn't let you.
So as a rogue, I'm going to attack one of the spiders that are currently there, and unfortunately, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I could do that. Yeah, fuck it. All right, fuck it. Fuck it, chuck it, football. The rogue, he decides to disengage one of the spiders, and he goes behind the pillar, and then appears from behind the spider. And as he does that, he tries to... Oh no, that's really low. I've been rolling very low.
AC 14. Good luck.
Where is...
What is blind sight, by the way?
Oh. Okay, cool. So, hold on. It's not perception. It's wisdom, actually. I don't know. It's supposed to be dex skills. They're supposed to be counter of the same thing. So,
blind
spider... the rogue decides to go behind the pillar, and the spider, not being able to be quick enough in order for to catch the rogue, is still kind of turning its huge body around, and as the rogue goes behind it, it slashes at its big carapace. And he's able to successfully sneak attack. Advantage, yay!
To be fair,
40,
so it has blind sight, so it can see you regardless, basically, right? Without its sight if you're in 10 feet of it.
Are you looking up the monster information to do that?
I was looking at something else.
10 feet. Let's see.
Yeah.
Ooh,
no, like
you're right. Let me look at the blind side.
Yeah.
D&D blind side.
It says if you're within 10 feet, it can see you.
Ability to perceive the surrounding as well as the sighted creature, yet without using visual senses. Senses that could contribute to the creature's overall blind sight include enhanced hearing, acute sense of smell, sensitive vibrations, such as... Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. So he goes behind the pillar and attempts to attack. However, the spider isn't surprised, but he's still able to land a hit. Yay. And as he does that... It's good, it's good. As he does that, he only does 6 plus 4, 7 damage.
To be fair, you're right, man. I was just checking other stuff too, so I got curious.
As the spider like turns around, he's able to somewhat move away from the slash, but the rogue then slashes, is able to hit the spider a bit. However, he gains a little bit of cover from the other spiders who probably want to sticky him. Next is the spider that's at the pillar, and the one that's at the pillar then goes towards the rogue to attack him. He sort of like gets on the pillar and he's like tries to bite at the rogue. And he misses. As he bites, he tries to reach his mandibles like in between the pillar and the wall. However, the rogue is just a bit too far off, and he's able to slightly dodge it. You can tell that the rogue is like moving quickly to try to avoid these giant jaws. Next is Kathra.
I'm gonna move in, and I'm not. I can move. Do I initiate anything by if walking the room? 'Cause I want to attack the one to my left anyway.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you just walk in. What the hell? I'm not supposed to like tell you what's gonna happen.
It's in the
just find
pounce
out.
mechanic, Maddie. If you move in, it'll pounce at you.
Okay.
I assume something like that.
Walk in. I know it's there.
It just can't advantage you because you know it's there.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, all it did that turn, Maddie, for reference, is it just waited for someone to come in to do an attack.
And then
Yeah, I just prevented from getting an advantage on me. Okay.
Exactly.
yeah, so it went for an attack as you walk in. However, where will you be walking towards? I was actually supposed to be. I was trying to put it closer to the door. My bad.
I'm walking
there you
to
go.
attack it.
To be fair, if it's too close to the door, Maddie should be able to see it. If it's the giant spider.
Oh, I know it's
Maddie
there.
does see it.
No. I'm saying even without perception, if it's right in front of her face, she sees it.
Not if it's on the ceiling.
Oh, fair.
Like
fair. Oh, it's doing
so
like a ceiling thing.
It's a roll. It's a spider. It can climb the wall, the ceiling, anywhere. It's just that Maddie had seen the spider go to that area, so it knew it was there.
Fair.
Maddie had walked in, and you already know the spider is there. So as you walk in, it attempts to attack you. However, do you want to go just in the wall barely, or inside the room barely, or do you want to walk more forward?
No, I'm walking towards it. I want to attack it.
Okay. Then as you're walking in, the spider attacks the same time you attack, and it just tries to bite at you. 18, and if I remember correctly, you had 19.
Yes.
Okay. As it tries to bite at, actually no, that's not an 18. That is a 23. Because I rolled a... Actually, did I roll a nat? Let's see. I think it should add the 5. Plus 5. Yeah, 13 plus 5. Never mind. So it missed. As it goes down on you, it tries to chomp on you. However, all it meets is steel, and the steel that's your armor. And as it bites onto your armor, you see a little bit of the kind of the poison that oozes out from its mouth. It's slimy. What will you do?
I will attack it. Back.
Okay. You bite it back? Jesus, Maddie.
No, attack it.
Maddie opens her helmet and uses bite attack. You need to move closer probably to hit it, Maddie.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you had hit it with your hammer, how much damage do you do?
Oh, you actually hit it. Nice.
1d8. Yeah, I hit it. For 10.
What's the damage?
7 plus 3. 10.
And but as it bites, you lift up your hammer and you hit its head away as the spider just gets surprised and starts hissing at you. What will you do next?
And I'm going to use. Let me check the range on it. 68. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to use Shield of Faith on Mythman as a bonus action.
I believe so.
Do you have to roll disadvantage for that if you're in melee or no?
It depends if it's concentration. Does you say a concentration check or anything like that?
No. Yes, it actually is. It's duration concentration.
Duration concentration. Okay. Then what's the DC for the spell?
I assume it's just my modifier. It doesn't say the DC.
What's the spell so I can read it real quick?
Shield of Faith. Oh, 15, I guess.
Spell save DC. Okay, so spell save DC. Okay.
Up to 10 minutes.
Okay, you just have to, if for some reason you're in combat, you have to roll that to see if it hits. Yeah, so if you're doing that while you're in combat, that means that you cannot concentrate on a spell while something's trying to kill you. So as you're doing it, you have to make sure that, you know, it actually goes off. So you'll have to just roll, make sure that you add your modifier, and make sure that just try to hit 15 or above, and you're golden.
Am I rolling?
Yes, you will roll. Make sure that you add your
No, what
bonus.
am I rolling?
You're rolling, try to beat a 15. You're trying to roll
I'm rolling a d20? I don't know what I'm
you roll a d20 plus your spell modifier.
My spell modifier is 7, I think.
Is it 7? Then that means that it's you passed it. So that means that as you were fighting the spider, you were able to concentrate enough in order to cast a spell onto the rogue. And the rogue now has, instead of 15, he has 17 armor.
Yeah, just remember before you go into combat, you can do the spell before you attack. If you're not in
I
melee.
that check every time I'm getting attacked anyway, so.
No, but I'm saying before you went in the door, you could have cast it on Meth Man with no concentration loss, and then it went for the attack.
Can I use a bonus action to start my turn?
I'm quite sure you can.
Yeah, you can. You can do it in any order.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Otherwise, rogues would suck.
I always thought you had to use it at the end of
your turn. No. Otherwise, I couldn't shoot my crossbow, because remember, I gotta reload at the start of the turn sometimes. So that's bonus action.
I'm done.
Yeah, so the turn order, it's not really like set in stone that you can. You have to do the main, then you have to do this, then you have to do the movement, the talking, the bonus. You can do them in any order as long as they're fulfilled, or if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Okay. I just always thought bonus was the end of the turn. Sure.
No, yeah. No worries, right? Just learning.
Now, you're there. You had casted, and the Meth Man currently feels a warm glow of light surround his body. Where the giant spiders seem to think, oh, he's just easier to bite now because I can see him better. The rogue then feels a warm glow, and he's like, I feel a little more invigorated.
Would that matter in dark vision? That'd be kind of fucked up if you're an asshole.
Yeah, it would affect because it's a glow.
Yeah, they can see him anyways, but if like you were fighting someone who couldn't see in the dark, that'd be really fucked up. Okay, my turn.
I mean, I could metagame, and that would technically would be because Shield of Faith is something that's supposed to use like an energy glow.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter because the things you're fighting can't already see him, but I don't think he can stealth.
So, Kenther, what else are you gonna do?
I'm done.
Okay, next is going to be Kosef.
I take because I have already reloaded, I can attack twice this turn, so I'm going to attack that spider right there.
Roll.
Miss. Roll again. I use my power to attack twice in a row.
2. Holy shit.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 there, plus 8, so
hit.
yeah. 1d10 plus 4. 8. Been really rolling shit today. Oh, I had a dumb question. You know I have action surge? That's not worth it. Yeah, so I couldn't shoot 3 times in a row, basically, right? But could I use it to shoot 2 times in a row?
You can shoot it now, yeah.
Use it though?
No, because I don't think for action surge I can do it though. Because it gives me 1 additional action, but I have to reload the crossbow.
Yeah, so right now you have.
Earlier, though.
Yeah, but I'm figuring range is weird with stuff. So like I think what I could do, Del, and correct me if I'm wrong, I can't attack 3 times, but next turn where I can only attack once, I could attack twice by using action surge to pop it.
Because you use your action surge to like grab the bow and prep it in order for you to shoot.
So instead of 2-1,
you can do twice.
Yeah. So instead of 2-1, I can do 2-2, and then I have to back to 1.
I'll allow that. That's fine.
Okay. In that scenario, then can I move forward a bit or no?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, I move up here and I end my turn. I'm gonna go wash real quick.
Okay.
I'm listening though.
All right. So the Kosef had decided to shoot his bow, in which one ended, and the second one hit. However, in his as he was shooting, he then had this surge of energy in which he decided to immediately grab another bow and almost as swiftly as he had shot, reload it again, preparing for the next turn. Next will be the giant spider. As the giant spider sees that you're still there, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna squirt you. As he looks at you, he just puts his butt out and he starts squirting all that web right at you. And as he does, he squirts his butt at you, and you're too close, so you get hit. And as you get hit, you get covered in this this webbing that's all around your body, and it kind of holds you in place. However, you do feel that you have enough strength in order to rip out of it, so you're gonna have to roll a strength check if you want to get out of it.
Do I roll it now or my turn?
Now. Oh, so close. You actually weren't that far away from the strength
Really?
check.
That's a sad strength check then.
No, it's webbing. What do you want? A spider looks at you sadly. The webbing that you try to get out of, it seems that you're in a position in which was a bit precarious. However, your shield is still up. However, your hammer is webbed to the ground, and you feel that it's going to take you at least a second or two in order for you to rip the hammer and remove the webbing from you so that you can move again. Next is going to be the next spider, and the next spider, he moves to the side and he looks at this rogue and he's like, I'm gonna bite this rogue. God, he looks so goddamn tasty. And again, as the spider moves up, he takes another bite towards the rogue, and the rogue, he gets bitten. He's like, ah, fuck. The bite he gets on and he takes a chomp at him, and a bit of poison oozes. That's 3d8. Oh, plus 3, 13. Uh-oh, this rogue is in trouble. And as the rogue is there, he then attempts to use his daggers to kind of stop the bite from slashing into his head, and instead he gets cuts all around his arms, and he starts you start seeing that he's starting to struggle a bit, and he starts yelling as he's fighting them, like, "You damn spiders, I'll kill you!" The other spider that's there, he moves up to the rogue. As he moves up to the rogue, he shoots the web, and he's like, "Squirt, squirt, squirty, squirt." Yeah, he does squirt. He's a squirt, squirt, squirt.
No.
Squirt.
Did you add the 2 AC to the rogue?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It still failed.
I'm hoping that he didn't.
Yeah, he does a squirt, squirt, and the rogue gets covered in webbing. However, the rogue is able to do a quick strength check. And he fails, and the webbing covers the rogue. And as the rogue is there, he gets the webbing kind of stuck on him and a bit on the spider, and him against the wall, and the spiders all just surround the rogue. Next is the rogue. He attempts to rip himself out from the webbing. However, he fails, and you see him just kind of struggling to get his knife and dagger removed from the webbing. He just doesn't have the strength for it. The battle's been going on too long, and these 3 spiders are just attacking him one by one. Next, the spider that's on the lower part bites onto Meth Man again, and he misses. And luckily, the webbing, although tying the rogue down, he's able to slightly just inchworm his way away from the spider bite as he starts to roll around, unable to lift up his dagger. Actually, hold on, let me look it up. Found you. Alright. A restrained creature speed bonuses become 0 and can't benefit from any bonuses. Speed attack rolls against a creature have advantage, and creatures' attack rolls have disadvantage. So in other words, I have disadvantage and they all have advantage against me. Alright.
Oh,
That makes sense.
that sucks.
Yeah, and I can't move. I can't move my distance, but I can't become 0 and can't benefit from attack. Attacking rolls against a creature have advantage. The creature. So while you're webbed, you can attack. However, you have disadvantage, but you can't move anywhere. So, but your AC stays the same. So the rogue stuck is able to use his daggers to kind of like parry off the giant spider's mandibles as he slams onto the ground. And he's unable to move, but he's able to like manage. Next is Kathra. The rogue is looking hurt, quite tired.
Do I roll a strength check to see if I get out of this web again or no?
You can. That will be. Unfortunately, that will be your main action though.
I want to do that.
Because you can attack. You can attack. You just can't
I
move.
understand that.
Okay. You
wanna do
rip
it.
out of the web. You can now move.
I'm going over here.
You take it to have attack of opportunity.
I'm taking it. Yes.
As the spider looks at you, he takes a little snippy snap, and 18
Missed.
miss. So as you go, the spider attempts to bite you, but all he feels is the coldness of the steel that is your shield, and you skillfully move towards the other spider. And as you're there, you're at a flanking position towards the other spider. Is that it?
I'm just standing here mentally. I'm gonna use my bonus action to use Word of Healing on Mythman.
Okay.
Which is, let me just hold on. Let me read this right.
Would it be would you need concentration if you're flanking?
No, it's not attacking her.
Yeah, so you don't need concentration. That's good.
Because she decided to do the spell after she had moved out of the way, and right now the spider's not even paying attention to her. All three of them are focused on
Or the
Methman.
halfling.
Every time they bite him, every time they bite Methman, they get a little bit of his blood and they feel even more invigorated. They don't know what's going on. They just feel great every time they bite him.
Their speed has increased, but they lose health
like,
every
wow,
second.
This is great. This is great. I've never been something so small that had so much energy. The spider's like, yeah, isn't that great? And the other spider's like, yeah, dude, this is great. I fucking love biting this guy. I feel like I'm gonna take on the world.
I can't believe it's been an hour and a half and we only done one room.
That's 4 plus 4 plus 3, so 11.
Methman this color has a bit returned to his face, and he is looking a lot better than he was previously.
That's all. I'm done.
Kosef?
Okay. I shoot my crossbow at this gentleman. I take aim and pray that Mepman will be safe from this. I take aim and fire.
Who are you gonna hit?
This gentleman, one I've been shooting at.
Yeah, you hit.
1d10 plus 4. Wow, 14. That was perfect
Nice.
damage.
The spider that is currently the weakest of the three, that looks the most hurt. It has arrows sticking out of its body, and he looks tired and he looks grizzled. It looks like he's going on his last leg. Pun. And he looks at the rogue in order to prepare another attack within the next few seconds, and suddenly his hissing and open mouth continue open, but he falls limply to the ground.
Okay. I shoot at this one with my second, because I use my bonus action to reload quickly, and then I use my second attack. Does he see me? Do I get any advantage or no? Or am I fucked?
You do not get an advantage.
Damn it. That's a miss.
Yes. So as you then prepare the crossbow, you shoot again to the next spider, but unfortunately it slams on to the ground near the other spider, and the other spiders then prepare to attack the rogue again.
Okay. And my turn.
One of the spiders that's there notices an arrow that had been shot and he then moves forward, and as you look forward from the door entrance, you notice a giant spider that is crawling its way towards you. And as he crawls his way towards you, he attempts to spray you with webbing. And as he sprays you with the webbing, you're able to just move slightly back, and the webbing just pools on the ground.
Okay, so do I have to move
where the
back in
ground is.
character or stay?
You can stay there. You just says
Okay.
that your character, because you're in a box within 5 feet. And
Yeah,
5
I'm
feet
just-
is actually not that bad.
I was just making sure it wasn't like an ability that actually forces you out of the spot they miss.
I don't know. So you move, your character moves slightly, and bobs and weaves, and the webbing falls on the ground.
Because I know there's
You're able
stuff
to
like
avoid it.
poison stuff like they can put on the ground that you have to step out of or you take damage.
Oh no,
or
no,
shit
we're
like
not-
that,
we're
yeah.
not doing that.
Fair enough. I just wanted to check.
One of the spider is dead. The one that you killed from a distance. And the next spider looks at the rogue and climbs on the wall in order to bite him while he's still stuck to the ground. And the rogue decides that, oh shit, I'm gonna get hit, and the spider has advantage, and he decides to bite. And as he does, he's able to bite and sort of like get a hold of the rogue a bit from the shoulder, and the rogue then moves his arm out of the spider's mouth, but not before taking a bit of damage, and it's 3d8.
3d8 is nasty. Holy fuck.
Plus 3, that's 20. And the rogue then gets hurt badly while his arm was almost punctured through. He is able to remove it from the mouth of the spider, and he's looking very bad. He is gasping for air as the poison seems to finally be starting to take effect. However, the rogue is fighting cautiously. Next, the rogue decides that he has to move away. And as he does, he tears off all his bone. No, he tears off the web. He tries to use a string to remove any of the webbing. However, he's such in a weakened state that he is unable to remove the webbing, and instead of attacking, he's left there very close to death. Next is the giant spider that's on the other side, and he decides that he will be biting Meth Man again. Has advantage, and that hits. As he does, 3d8. Plus 3, 11. And Methman finally, as the spider bites into him, Methman sort of like falls back unconscious on the ground. The bite which the spider had done onto him left him on the ground. And he seems to be almost stiff after he'd fallen on the ground, not moving, not like a limp person falling, but more like a stick or a piece of wood that fallen onto the ground, almost paralyzed as he fell. Next is going to be Kethra.
I yell the difference. Kefra, how are you? Have you saved that rogue, the halfling, yet?
I'm ignoring him for now.
I can't see it. It's a giant spider in my face, so I'm trying to be helpful.
I'm distracted. I almost for choice here. I had to attack this guy in front of me. I'm gonna attack him either way.
So you used your Warhammer, and that was a nat 20, so that is a crit. So you're going to have to add the damage dice extra to when you hit.
2d8, I think, is your thing, Maddie?
Yeah, so 14.
Nice.
So as you... Is it 14? I thought it was... okay. No,
Yeah,
thought
plus 3.
+3.
+3. Okay, so 14. So as you lift up your hammer, seeing your friend fall to the ground, you lift up your hammer and you decide to do a strong strike. And the strike is so strong it actually turns the spider around, where once it was facing you, where once it was facing the rogue, trying to end his life, it's now facing you, and it hisses as you see the damage it caused on its body. And the spider then a bit of a wobble, but he's hurt and he's looking right at you. What else will you do, Kethra?
I'm gonna summon a spirit weapon next to it and attack it again.
Does it need concentration?
No.
Okay, so you summon the spirit weapon attack. It's a hit.
And that is 1d8. +4 is 9.
Nine damage.
Yes.
As a spirit weapon strikes the spider that, as a spirit weapon manifested, you can see that a chunk was removed from the body of the spider. As the spider is quite large, you feel like perhaps it didn't do as much damage, but soon after the strike, you see the spider wobble as if it's struggling to keep on its several legs. It's looking at you, hissing. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Next is Kosef. Kosef, the spider is on you.
Okay. I use my bonus action to switch to my greatsword, and I swing my greatsword at the spider, and that's a miss.
As you lift up your great sword, the spider going on you and trying to squirt on you all its icky web, you get surprised as you lift up your greatsword and you trade it out for your crossbow. As you swing, unfortunately, you do it too haphazardly, and the spider is able to avoid it nimbly by simply moving a little bit to the side.
Okay. I have my extra attack because I don't need to reload. I swing again. In frustration, I yell at him and
Okay.
I'm gonna hit you this time, you son of a bitch.
Okay.
And I don't.
As
Spider.
you slashed with your great sword against the wall, you then attempt to cleave by swinging the sword across your body and across the spider. However, unfortunately, the spider sees that he surprised you. So the spider is almost confident as he just slightly moves and dodges the blow from your great sword. You're positive that perhaps the next time you swing your sword, you'll be able to slash a good chunk of it.
I yell at Kefra's like, hurry up over there. I'm not good at this range.
The spider then sees you and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna chomp this guy. This guy is gonna be chomped.
Not gonna web me?
He's gonna bite you. 19.
That's it.
So he looks at you and he starts licking his lips. He's like, yum 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 yum. He lifts up his lips and he starts biting it. And initially his attack rolls 4 damage. Initially, I'm gonna add another one so you can hold on for a bit if you want. He bites you, and as he bites you, you can tell that the bite was quite almost just barely had punctured your armor slightly. It punctured your skin just a bit, and you think to yourself, oh, it's not even that bad. This spider is such a weak bitch. However, as you then feel where the puncture had occurred, you feel this very sharp, sizzling, the sharp pain you feel, not a sizzling, you feel a sharp pain in the wound. That's the poison that's reacting with your blood. In total, you took 3, 4, 10 damage.
Oh, I don't get to roll Constitution?
That's right, roll Constitution. That's no, you get 10 damage.
God fucking damn it! I rolled a nat 1 on Constitution. Fucking bullshit.
In fact, you like the pain. You say, "Oh, give me more." As the spider looks confused at you.
New character flaw unlocked.
Hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fire level. So Okay, next
So
turn.
next is going to be the giant spider that's on the other side of the rogue, and as he sees that he's fall, he decides that he is going to leave the rogue there. Says he's already webbed. Sees it as an easy meal for later, and this spider moves. Where does he move? The spider decides to.
They can attack on the same space, right? Because they could be on the wall.
Yeah, they can be on the wall. But it's still not really allowed, just because even if it's on the ceiling and they're down.
Yeah, it just causes confusion.
It just causes confusion. So right now the spider moves up to the side and he tries to attack Kathra, and he tries to do a web. And as he does, it's a 19. It's a hit.
That does hit.
So as it does, you feel that the spider's webbing starts covering you a bit, where you're unable to move from the same spot. You're able to lift your hammer and your shield, but you're unable to move from this specific spot. You feel that it's restricting your movement. You now have disadvantage for every time you attack, and the monsters have advantage against you when they attack you.
So I can roll now to see if I just break out, right?
Next is the rogue. The rogue sees his
No?
life
Okay.
flashing. What's happened?
I thought she could roll strength
Don't I
when
get a
it gets
strength
webbing.
check?
That's right.
Now?
Roll a strength check to see if you break. As the webbing covers your body, you roll a. You try to rip off the webbing, and as you do, you can see that the webbing then tears from the ground, and you're able to move again. The spider is surprised. He's like, "What? What? Why? Why did you do that? I did that for a reason, to kill you, you idiot."
Why are you not letting me kill you?
Prefer if you didn't.
The rogue, is in its slumber as he looks through it. He's thinking oh well, I'm gonna see if I live or I won't. Maybe I'll die. Who knows? He then rolls, and he successfully gets this inkling of wanting to live. Next,
There's more meth out there I haven't smoked.
there's more meth out there I haven't cracked. Next is another spider. This spider then sees you, and as he does, he goes to the side of you, flanking you, and as he's there, he attempts to bite you. As he attempts to bite you, all he feels again is steel. You feel that these spiders, if they are able to hit you, they are quite dangerous, as long as their poison isn't able to reach you. Kathra, your turn.
I'm gonna spin around and smack this one in the face with my hammer.
Which one?
The one behind
Okay.
me.
That one is the weakest of them all. He's very weakened. Very sad little. And you hit him. God damn, you hit him right on the fucking face. 19.
Only 5 damage though.
So as you lift up your hammer, you slam it right in its face. And as you do that, you hear a screech. And almost as if the creature has become more enraged. But the screech wasn't actually a creature that was being enraged. It was a creature that was screaming its last scream. It falls to the ground, and he curls up its legs, and he goes into a big ball, and he's dead.
I guess I can't kick it. No, probably not. I'm gonna use my spirit weapon to attack the other one next to me.
Okay. I hit.
Plus 4 is 10.
Your spirit weapon hums a glow, and immediately it smacks against the spider that's to the left of you. The spider then hisses as it looks at you and looks at its wound that you caused. A big chunk of it is missing. You can do anything else?
And my turn.
Next is going to be Kosef.
Okay, I look at this spider and say, Thunder Tree, and swing my weapon, and oh, thank God.
You lift up your sword and you slam against the giant spider.
Yelling Thunder Tree.
Hit. What was the damage?
2d6 plus 2, so that's 10.
You lift up your great sword and you slam against the spider. Along the slam that hits against the wall, it causes a bit of a crack where you slashed. And as you do, you notice that from the spider's 6 legs that it had, it now has 5 as you took one of its large legs away from it.
I focus my energy and swing upwards from where I swung down to try and hit it again. And nope. God damn.
As you swing up from the spider, who is then somewhat unbalanced, you slightly miss as you expected the spider to stand just a little bit closer. But unfortunately, the missing leg caused it to lean slightly away from your sword. Next time you'll get it.
With my bonus action, I take a breath and end my turn.
Okay. The giant spider that's in front of you, furious that it had lost the leg, he says, "No other spider will even look at me now! How dare you made me a freak!" He attempts to bite you, and as he does, he chomps at the air. Apparently the loss of the leg had made him lose a bit of balance, and the spider isn't able to bite you properly. It decides to fight to the death. Next, the next spider that's on the left of Kathra attempts to squirt you again with this web. And he's like, "I'm gonna squirt you so good. Squirt, 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 squirt." Okay, so as he starts to squirt all of his webbing on you, Kathra, he can't. He's able to shoot, but you're able to easily tear off the webbing that shoots on you without even needing to forcefully use your full strength. And then
I told you, Spider, your web game is weak.
Oh my god! And the rogue, trying to imagine a life without him in this world, tries to see whether or not he wants to live. And a little bit about him is like, well, if I'm not alive, then I won't be horribly addicted to meth. And he decides maybe I should die. One of the failure counters indicates. Next is going to be that spider is dead. Next is going to be Kathra.
Let's try to kill this damn spider once again.
Hit.
Nine damage.
All right, you lift up your hammer, and as you strike down, you slam against the spider's legs, causing it to break some of the precious body armor that it has around it. You see its cracks start appearing all over its body, and you feel that its spider is close to its end.
Let's go for a 2-1 punch with spirit weapon.
And as you see the spider faltering, you notice an opportunity as you then force your spirit weapon in order for it to attack the spider. And that's how much?
8.
And as the spirit weapon flies up to the sky, it slams down, going straight through the head of the spider. As you hear gurgles of the sound coming out of its the hole where its head once was, you can see that the spider is dead.
And I'm gonna move over to here.
Okay. As the spider falls to the ground, you see your friend Kosef is engaged with another spider directly. You see one of the legs is missing, and you go behind the spider.
That's it.
Kosef.
Advantage or no?
Yes, advantage.
I yell at Kefra. I say, Kefra, where's Nathaniel? I haven't seen him in a bit. Is he okay over there?
He's had better days.
You should maybe go look at him. I swing,
Alright.
and advantage. Oh, thank God.
You hit.
And that's 2d6 plus 2. That is 7.
As you lift up your greatsword, you see that it's starting to lunge at you for a bite, And as you decide to allow the creature's head to move forward, you lift up from the ground your greatsword and slash straight through its head. You feel that there was a bit of an ease to go through the spider's complete skull, and the spider then, having probably his brain crushed, falls limply to the ground as he curls up into a ball. A large spider blocks your way into the room.
Can I not get by at all?
No.
Well, I
Okay.
run back over to Method.
I roll strength to try and push the spider out of the way, so I can slide by.
Let's see. Currently, the fight is over. All the creatures are dead except for one, which was Nesnar the Black, which is unconscious. And for Meth Man, Kath, are you going to be trying to help him?
Yes.
Okay. So as he's on the ground, you'll be giving him advantage. He decides to roll.
If I just shove a healing potion down his throat, will that help?
Okay, so you put your hand over him, and as you do, you sense the rogue was closing on the door of death, and he goes one more failure into failure. But however, he then as you approach him, you attempt to do a I guess a basic CPR to see what's going on. You try to stop any of the bleeding, and you then try to call out for your brother. And Kosef, have you done a strength check to try to move that spider?
Yeah, I rolled 17.
Okay. So as you do, you're able to move the spider slightly off, and you're able to get an opening on the other side. And as you do, Kathra, I'm guessing you call for your brother as you notice that it's a spider bite. And as your brother enters the room, he says that this is one of the monsters that I knew was going to be in here, so I brought something that might help. As he comes towards the rogue, he gives him a vial of something that he says, this is something meant for poisoned for the spiders. They're actually quite common, although not as large as these giant spiders. There are some nasty ones that are around the mines that we have to prepare for. He gives a vial to Meth Man, and Meth Man then stabilizes as he is brought back to 0 HP.
I close the doors too. For here.
And as he does, Meth Man then gains a little bit of consciousness, and as he looks around, he tries to look around with his eyes. However, he is unable to move. And Gundren looks at him and says, "Ah, yes. Unfortunately, that's just what happens when you get a little bit of spider venom and anti-venom in you. He'll be paralyzed for a bit."
As long as he'll be okay. There's plenty of meth out there for you to smoke.
I roll strength to pull the spider out so we can get by if we have to.
You rolled 20. So as you do, you start pulling the spider, and as you do, you move yourself back 5 feet.
Yep.
And you move the spider enough, as he's quite heavy, in order to give a small path towards the hallway where you once were. Meth Man then begins to try to say something with his mouth, but instead of hearing words, all you hear is as he does that, he then falls unconscious again, as his eyes are trying to point in a direction, but all he does is fall unconscious.
I roll perception to see if I get anything from that.
As you see the eyes, you see him kind of like, his eyes were kind of trying to show you a direction, and as you do it's kind of like he's trying to point at the room that's over here, and as you were pulling the spider away, you also noticed that there was a door, so you're thinking perhaps the rogue wanted to point you towards the door. But the rogue then falls unconscious and is unable to move anymore, but you hear a soft breathing as he's unconscious. And Gundren then tells you, Kathra, that the poison, he'll be out for about an hour, but after that he should be not dead. Haha.
I look at Kefra and say he was pointing kind of at that room. I'm gonna secure the check on the drow. You want to go check that room while I deal with that? I go
I'll
over
take
to
a-
secure his
okay.
hands and take his wand off him so he can't cast magic easily.
I'm gonna go over, open the door. Do I see the person there, or?
Yeah, as you open the door, Gundren is following not that far along behind you, a few feet away, as he wants to be secure, doesn't know if it's a trap. And as you open the door, you see no one other than your other cousin, Nundro.
I barrel into the room towards him.
Oh,
Let me read
Get
the
in here,
description.
Gundren.
Del, I rolled Arcana. I took the wand from him, but is there anything else I pick up that I need to deal with so he doesn't escape if he's unconscious when I tie him up?
Hold for a bit.
Yep.
So as you open this door, you notice that the door had been opened. The door had originally had a lock on it. However, the rogue had sneakily opened up the door before he had gone over, and that's how he was able to see what he saw. He was trying to tell you that he had opened the room before he'd gone on the attack, but obviously he wasn't able to. So this is it's basically the priest's quarters. Dusty draperies adorn the walls of this room, which also contain a bed and brazier. A badly disheveled dwarf lies bound and unconscious on the cold stone floor. The room, originally, as you look around it, are you going to be looking around, Cathra, or no?
I'm going to my cousin first.
Okay. Let me see if there's any traps. Okay. So, as you go up to the dwarf that's on the ground, he is currently unconscious. However, other than some small scrapes and bruises, he looks alive and well. Will you try to wake him up?
I call out the Gundren first. Like, Gundren, get in here. Nundro's still alive. We gotta make sure he's okay.
Gundren then goes up and he tries to shake Gundro awake. And as he does, Gundro then awakens, frightened, and he looks around and he says, "Oh, thank the gods," as he names some of the dwarven gods. He says the strength of the hammer, blah blah blah, and he talks about how he's so grateful, and he tries to hug Gundren and you, Kethra. And as he does, he tells you that he tells you the story of how he had been taken, him and his brother, when they were outside of Phandalin around the areas, searching for spots in which they could sort of have deposits or even ore deposits, or even where they could put like safe haven for certain items that they found. They were caught by some of the Red Brand hooligans that were around the area. And as they were there, they were taken to the castle in Cragmaw, and then here to Waveecho Cave, and Nesnar ended up talking to both of him, Gundro, and his brother. However, his brother was too proud in order to play any tricks, and unfortunately, when Nesnar saw that he could not get any information out of his brother, he immediately killed him at the entrance. This is just where you found his body. He tells you in like a very sad tone. However, what he did was that when Nesnar was interrogating him, probably once or most likely twice a day, he would beat him and tell him, "I need you to tell me any of the secrets of this cave." And what he would do is he would give him just a bit of information. He would tell him some of the information that he knew, because he knew that if he told him everything, he would most likely kill him. So he would tell him of certain areas where the river led. He would tell them that there are certain monsters in certain areas. He would tell them of some of the mechanisms that were in there, but he would also give a little bit of information, enough so that Nesnar would be a bit interested, and then he would shut his mouth. Afterwards, he would receive a beating, but the following day, Nesnar would do the same, and he would give him just a little bit of information, and then he would receive another beating. And he says that he stayed like this for several days. He says he doesn't know how long, but he's sure that any more days that he would do this, he would most likely be dead, as he would never give him the information that he wanted, as he would most likely die than give him everything. Instead, he would just give him tidbits. But he tells you that's how he survived day by day by day. He is also the youngest of the three Rockseeker brother. And again, Nesnar spared him because he thought the dwarf might know more about the mine than he admitted. But in honesty, the only thing Nundro knew for certain was just how to mine a mine. Because although he's younger, he's very experienced in mines. So he would usually just tell him information like any mine would have. He's very grateful that you were able to rescue him, but he doesn't know any more about the layout than his brother, who actually has the map, which is Gundren.
As long as you're safe, we're okay. But there's a bed here. We should probably get methane in it.
Yeah, it's let's see. Blah, 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 blah. As you're in there, he then starts telling you that were you able to find the stash? He tells you about this the items that Nesnar had in the main area. Although he slept here, he says that the majority of the items he always kept close to him that were quite valuable.
We haven't looked that far yet.
And Gundren then hugs the brother and says, "All right, it's time that we complete our exploration of the cave." As they both smile, and they're like getting fist bumps, and they're like, "Yeah, hey, yeah." But then again, dwarves are very much accustomed to losing their lives for the areas that they live, as they know that it's a very dangerous world. So their views on death is not as serious as maybe humans, as dwarves tend to live quite a long life, and the only time they die is because they did something like this.
Okay, let's get you out of here and let's get you back over to the main room.
And Gundren, he talks to him and he shows him the equipment that he has, and Gundren says that he'll carry some of the load, but only after a few hours of like resting. Gundren agrees, and they both start walking with you out of the room. And as they walk out, they're both surprised that there's giant dead spiders. And Nundro looks at them and goes, "Yeah, those are the spiders that were around me when he was beating me." As you look around,
Gundren's surprised.
No, Gundren and Nundro he's like, "Yeah, whoa, they're dead." They're surprised that they're dead. Nundro is surprised they're dead. Also, Kosef, as you switch around and you find Nesnar, you see that he's carrying a potion of healing, which he probably would have used if he had had more time to react. Spider staff. In addition, the drow carries an iron key with a head shaped like an anvil. This key unlocks a door, and it looks like the key to unlock the door which originally Nundro was trapped in.
The spider staff? Okay.
Nundro's exploration in Wave Echo Cave has yielded some treasure, which the drow keeps in a sack on the wooden table. The sack contains 190 silver pieces. It says epsilon, but I fucking hate that, so it's silver. 190 silver pieces, 130 gold pieces, and 15 platinum pieces. 9 small gemstones, which you'd say roughly around 10 gold pieces each. And a dwarven ale mug made of hammered electrum.
I'm really slow. I just did the silver down.
So 190 silver.
Yep.
130 gold.
Okay, hold on.
15 platinum.
Okay, 36, 15 platinum. Okay,
so
got that.
190 silver, 130 gold.
All good. I put it all up.
15 platinum and 9 gemstones. They're each about 10 gold each. My bad.
Okay, I'm just not bothering to math them, or should I put them in the thing?
9 small gemstones.
Okay,
you can
put that down.
10 GP each. And a dwarven ale mug made of hammer electrum, worth 100 gold pieces. An extremely valuable mug. You know it'll be worth quite a penny.
Dwarf mug. And what was the price again, sorry?
It's about 100 gold pieces if you're able to get a right price for it.
Okay. And I wrote dwarf mug. Okay, I got the small gems and then the dwarf mug. I rolled Arcana. Do I, just to figure out if I need to like do anything to make it so he can't escape when he wakes up?
You tie him up and tie his mouth up.
Okay.
Bound his hands.
Do I need to break his hands? Fingers?
You could if you wanted to.
No, I'm just saying, like, would I know, like, do I need to know that? Like, that's why I rolled Arcana.
You know of the character.
That's fair. That's why I rolled Arcana to see if I had an understanding of it.
You know that he's a wizard.
Okay, that's about it.
And you know that he's a wizard. And you know that he is the leader of this group that has been terrorizing Phandalin for years.
Yeah.
You think to yourself whether or not it would be better off to just kill him or to turn him in. It's up to you right now. However, depending on what you choose, it may affect how your character reacts to certain things.
Well,
He killed and tortured my family, I really wanted to smash his face in.
Well, I feel like we could get something from him before we kill him. I don't think we... And there might be value in putting him behind bars to get more information out of him.
You're gonna have to roll for that one, because I want to kill him.
Okay. Roll persuasion.
Okay. Explain how you would have. So I know that you're gonna have an issue with this, so I'm gonna allow you. How does Kosef, to your character, explain we should keep him alive and take him to Phandalin to turn in? How does he explain that to you?
Oh, so he did
And
convince me?
What do you think he said to convince your character to tie him up, take him to Phandalin? Maybe we can get some info from him. How does he explain that to your character?
Probably like he's part of something bigger, and we can get more information so this doesn't happen to others. If I had to guess for Kosef, and that keeping him alive and getting information out would be for the better of everybody.
Okay, so
right now I'm just pissed off.
Your character angry that this being is allowed to live. Kosef does spend some time explaining to you that the benefits far outweigh the benefits of trapping him and taking him to Phandalin far outweigh the benefits of killing him immediately. Your character then begrudgingly agrees, and Kosef, you are able to take this path that is of a less bloody origin. You haven't been using your inspiration. If you have any inspiration, please add one, unless you don't have it.
No, I don't have any inspiration. I haven't got any in a bit.
Okay, then you'll have a token for inspiration as your character decided not to just like, you know what, fuck this guy, kill him.
Yeah.
That and
Though to be fair, like I'm not lawful good. I'm like lawful neutral sometimes. I don't know. So you probably could convince me to murder him.
But for right now, we'll say that that has occurred, and we can leave off here as it's pretty much like it's been more than an hour.
We doing a long rest or a short rest?
It'll take me a long rest in here.
I should probably do. Gundren says we can probably barricade the door and rest for quite some time.
Yeah. Use the spiders as literal doors. You can't get through them unless you can push them, so you actually can use them as a wall.
So Gundren and Nundro, they go into the room and they take the rogue with them and they lay him on the bed, and they'll say, well, they'll just barricade the door, and they'll take Nesnar as well. He's currently bound.
And duct tape.
Yeah, definitely cover his mouth. He's a wizard.
And I let Kefra break his fingers so he can't hold a staff and cast stuff. I said,
farm again.
I said, Kefra, here, break his fingers so he can't escape.
And I smash his hand with my hammer.
So for right now, just please try to remember where we're at and go on for next week.
Full health, or do we need to do short rest?
You'll be doing a long rest, but just know that if you're doing a long rest, I will do an encounter.
Right off the bat?
Remember, but it'll happen after you get out of the room. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna go AFK real quick. I'll be right back. But yeah, we're done with this session.
Okay.
Thank you, Del.
Thank you, Del, for running.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I need a long rest. I'm full health.
Probably more for the rogue.
Yes, and you always imagine.
I could have used my ability to heal myself to full health, basically. I was only at like 30.
Honest, I was getting pretty low on spell anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go for a while.
Okay. Oh, I was wondering how long Del was going to be. If you're still there, Del.
I assume you're left.
Rencia is still there? I think everyone left. I'm going to take a break then, too.
Yep, they're all gone.